Happy Monday, VV Nation. Welcome to the channel. My name is Ryan. Always a pleasure giving these videos. Tonight's presentation, we're going to jump right into a very crucial topic. These stocks, they're all soaring. I've been talking about this for at least about 4 to 6 months now. Coming from the semiconductor space into this because I saw them as a critical component to semiconductors, robotics, self-driving technology, missile defense systems, national security, global economics, rare earth elements, and critical minerals, right? You've heard me talk about U.S. antimony. It's been a hot stock recently. So tonight's presentation, I'm going to catch you up to speed exactly what's going on, what's pushing these stocks even higher. And we're going to jump into the VectorVest 7 system. I've got 7 picks. That's right. 7 picks to play the space here. So that way you can potentially profit in this volatile market. Now, this is something that you're interested in. Stick around and let's get started. Now, let me catch you up to speed. My first 6 p.m. video on this topic was over 4 months ago. You see right there, miners worth buying. If you are in markets outside the U.S., in that video, I did put some stocks on your radar, some rare earth element, critical mineral stocks, so that way you could take advantage of. This whole thing started because China has a monopoly on critical minerals and rare earth elements. Right now, they actually provide the global supply chain over 90%. And again, these elements are utilized for things like AI, quantum computing, technology of the future. So they are needed when it comes to this trade war. Obviously, they can hurt the United States in other ways, but this is a very important one, especially for national security and defense applications. A lot of these items are used for defense. That's why Trump, again, has done a lot of rhetoric when it comes to Ukraine, Greenland, and other sources to make sure that we can get our independence off of Chinese rare earth elements and critical minerals. Other than the trade war, this has been one of the biggest news stories to come out, at least in my opinion, that can help the United States. U.S. coal ash, right? Very dirty, very messy, not environmentally friendly at all. Well, now they have found out from a university in Texas that we've got about 11 million tons worth of rare earth elements in U.S. coal ash, giving a phenomenal opportunity to 2 stocks in particular. Coal ash has been a hot topic for environmentalists for decades, but now with the rise of rare earth elements and the importance of these items, well, now there's a reason to actually clean up this mess. You see, Duke Energy right here has agreed to the largest coal ash cleanup in U.S. history, right? This is actually homegrown. Nearly 80 million tons of ash from 6 facilities in North Carolina. So North Carolina is going to be on the map when it comes to this transformation of recycling coal ash into critical minerals and rare earth elements that our economy needs in modern times. Other than North Carolina, there's a company out there called First Energy, symbol FE. We're going to take a look at it in the VectorVest 7 system. Look at this. Pennsylvania is one of the nation's top coal ashing generating sites, right? So you can see exactly these energy companies, these utility companies are going to benefit from this coal ash, right? Because before it was just an environmental nightmare costing the companies, probably millions or billions of dollars, but now they can utilize this coal ash, recycle it, and sell it, right? Now, a couple companies to have on your radar. The first one here is going to be MP. This is the largest rare earth producer in the Western Hemisphere, right? China is banning export technology so that way we can't process and mine these type of items. That being said, MP says it's up for the challenge and the company is up today. On top of that, we got a new player here. I've added it to the watch list, US Rare Earth. Now, this company was mentioned on the live stream earlier today. I took a look at the news stories, took a look at the chart. It just added to the database. We're going to break it down and see if there's any potential when it comes to this company. I always try to do my best to point you in the right direction. Now, this is the quick test results of this watch list since the beginning of the year. Now, 2 of these stocks were added, FE and Duke, right? The other items, look at these phenomenal performance. Other than UUUU, which is down, if I resort these, we've got some big winners here. UAMY up 81%, followed by NB 71, MP 70%. Now, when I start talking about this, UAMY is actually up over 300%, right? I've been trying to tell you, don't get too tech heavy. You can see down below, if we compare it to the NASDAQ since the beginning of the year, down 10%, right? So let me change this date to current times. Now we will see USAR added to the list here. Again, this hasn't been in our database very long, but look at the stocks here. Of these items, UAMY at the top of the list. We've got some buy recommendations here. Look at the percent price change today. We've got a 58%, 27% when it comes to NB, 24% when it comes to NP. So you can see exactly why I want to put these stocks on your radar, and I don't think the whole China and US relationship's going to improve anytime soon. It may even get worse. And if it does get worse, it's going to put more pressure on these companies to produce the rare earth and the critical minerals that the Western Hemisphere is going to need, and for the United States to stay on top. First up, we've got US antimony. Good thing I like about this stock, you see price action, pretty parabolic move, not going to lie there. But look at this. The valuation also has a parabolic move. I mean, the valuation went from 20 cents back in November, now ending at $1.86. That's phenomenal growth, right? But not only that, look at their forecasted sales growth rate and their earnings growth rate, right? 313% earnings growth rate, 34%. You can see them on the rise. Exactly why I feel this company, between this great data and what's going on in the world, I see this company going higher. Now I did notice the stock selling off a little bit this morning, but look, buyers came in control, full-bodied candlestick. It's in the fast lane. All the moving averages are in our favor. Next up will be USAR. Again, this is a brand new publicly traded company that came out just last month. But look at the full body candlestick, brand new high coming at $13. Now, we do value the company here at $7.03. But again, the company was just released. We see the growth rate and earnings at 7%, sales growth rate at 0. But as far as the technicals here, look, the moving averages are in our favor. The company is in a very critical industry here. And look, buyers are coming in to push the stock to new highs. Here's NB. The chart I don't really like as much as some of the others, and the company's overvalued. The valuation staying flat, actually declined a little bit here. But look, we see price action breaking out of this downward trend here. Nice full-bodied candlestick today. I do see a little bit of a wick up at the top. I don't like this quite as much as the other ones that I've shown you so far, but the growth rate coming at 10%, sales growth rate at 0%. I do see this more as a trade as long as price action can stay in the fast lane, which is going to be above this upper Bollinger Band here. Coming in right now at 220, stock currently trading at 258. That's about right where I would put my stop and maybe adjust it going forward. Now, MP is another overvalued company here, but the one thing I do like about it, I mean, the price action, lower left, upper right, nice full body candlestick today. You can see all of these stocks are jumping right now. So if you want to get in, these are some stocks to put on your radar. You know, I'm not going to promote tech today, but this is a good space given, you know, geopolitical events and what I'm seeing on the charts here. Again, this stock just hit a new 6-month high. Look at the sales growth rate on the rise, 48%. The earnings growth rate is negative, but if we take a look here, I mean, it went negative 11%, now coming in at negative 8%, so it is improving. Here we've got Duke Energy. Again, this is going to be one of the coal ash plays. Nice lower left, upper right. The stock recently hit a 12-month high not too long ago. The valuation on the rise, even though the company is way overvalued, I do like the valuation rising, not staying stagnant. We've got some nice full-body candlesticks showing momentum for the bulls. Now, if I zoom into a 3-month time span, we can see the price action here about to go into the fast lane with a fresh buy rating. I like what I see here, and it's a utility company, which we know is pretty defensive in uncertain times in general. Now, that being said, the growth rate in earnings and sales growth rate don't compare to some of the other positions, but this stock I would definitely have on your radar. Now, here's another interesting chart I see. Price action on the decline, right? Kind of like a bottom fishing strategy, but look, nice pivot over the last 4 days, just like Duke Energy, all the moving averages, price action, just getting into the fast lane. So if you're looking for, you know, more prudent or conservative swing trade, this might be it. But even from an investment perspective, look at the jump in the valuation. That kind of reminds me of UAMY. So again, put this stock on your radar. These companies here have proven themselves since the beginning of the year, other than this one being Quadruple U Energy Fuels Inc. here. Again, this is a mining uranium company. They do have, you know, their hands in some rare earth elements. So that being said, look at the company though. It was way overvalued. Price sold off. Price actually met valuation not long ago. Nice pivot. Now we are in the fast lane. I wouldn't buy today just because it is a down day today. But if we look at the growth rate and earnings, 33%, nice jump. And look at the sales growth rate. Huge jump back in early March here, coming at 999 maxed out. But just looking at the chart, even if I use a freehand line here, we could see price action broke that downward trend line with momentum picking up to the upside. Just want to buy it today because it is a down day. Now, that being said, I hope everyone enjoyed tonight's presentation. If you didn't know anything about rare earth elements or critical minerals and how important they play a role in today's economy and how much China has an influence over them, hopefully I was able to teach you something. And along with that, show you how to profit in this current situation. Everybody have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you Wednesday night.